Hello, everyone. Hello, fellow students. My name is Kanyang Ngaya, and welcome to my CIC 2601 Assessment 2. In this assessment, I'm going to share with you my lesson plan for grade 11 technology learners. And the topic for my lesson is how radio works. How radio works. This is for learners aspiring to pursue a career in radio, be it broadcasting, engineering, or just the technicalities of radio. And so my lesson objectives are, number one, learners will be able to identify and describe the main components of a radio communication system, which includes a transmitter, an antenna, the electromagnetic waves, and the receiver. And secondly, learners will be able to explain how radio waves are generated and also transmitted and received to enable sound or communication. And the last objective is learners will be able to illustrate and interpret the process of radio communication by drawing and labeling a simple diagram of a radio system and be able to explain the function of each component. And so I began the lesson by showing a short YouTube video that explained the basic principles of radio communication. The video introduced concepts such as electromagnetic waves, the frequency, the wavelength, transmitters, and receivers. And so after watching this video, learners completed a quiz using their tablets. The quiz assessed their understanding of the key concepts and provided an immediate feedback just to assess their understanding. And so the activity was implemented successfully because learners were actively engaged from the beginning of the lesson. The video captured their attention while the quiz encouraged participation and allowed me to identify the misconceptions, or rather the gaps, before moving to the main content. And so according to the SAMR model, this activity is at the augmentation level. The technology replaced a traditional introduction and paper-based, teaching, which was through the quiz, while it added information, which improved engagement, and there was an instant feedback. There was scoring of marks, and yeah. During the main part of the lesson, I used a PowerPoint presentation to explain how a radio transmitter sends signals and how a receiver converts those signals into sound. I then showed them an online simulation showing how, the waves, electromagnetic waves, travel. And learners were able to work in pairs to explore the simulation and answered the given or guided questions based on their observation. The learners participated actively, discussed their observation with their partners, and asked questions where they needed clarification. The simulation helped them visualize concepts that are normally difficult to understand through textbook explanation alone. And so this activity is at the modification level of the SAMR because the technology significantly redesigned the learning task. And instead of only listening to an explanation, I'm checking the time, sorry about that. Learners interacted with the simulation, explored the concepts themselves, and collaborated with classmates to deepen their understanding. To conclude the lesson, the learners created a labeled diagram using PowerPoint to illustrate how a radio signal travels from the transmitter to the receiver. And this activity allowed learners to apply what they had learned while developing their digital literacy skills creating and sharing diagrams encouraged creativity, independent learning, and collaboration through online. And this activity represents the redefinition level of the SAMR model, because technology enabled learners to complete a task that would have been difficult without digital tools. They created professional digital diagrams, submitted them online, and received feedback from both the teacher and their peers in a collaborative online environment. And so, in conclusion, I believe the lesson was successful because the ICT made the learning experience more interactive, more engaging, and learner-centered. The activities supported the lesson objectives by helping learners move from remembering key concepts to understanding radio communication, and finally applying their knowledge in a practical task. Integrating technology also encouraged collaboration, critical thinking, and digital skills that are important for the 21st century learning. I thank you.